What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. Today's video, we have the Indiana Pacers, a team that is supposed to be really bad, but is actually off to a 4-5 start to their season, and that is mostly due to rookie Bennedict Mathurin has had an unbelievable start to his NBA career. So, of course, there are the rumors going around that they are going to go ahead and trade Miles Turner, Buddy Hield, whether it's to the Lakers or some other team that wants to compete right now. I don't know. What am I going to do today? I genuinely have no idea. We're definitely going to go ahead and make some trades before we do get into year one, but this team actually does have a pretty good foundation. Obviously, Tyrese Halliburton came over last year at the deadline in that trade with the Sacramento Kings with the Pacers sent Sabonis, but I like this team a lot. I really don't think that we're honestly that much further away than what we really could have been maybe last year with Sabonis, maybe with some other guys they had in the roster, so we're not going to be doing anything too drastic today, but I'm really excited for this rebuild. And with this Pacers rebuild being one of the final ones that we have in terms of just normal rebuilds to get out of the way, we only have actually two left. It's the Washington Wizards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. So we're going to do the rest of those this week, and along with that, we're also going to be getting back into the trading every player rebuilds. Let me know which teams you want to see with that. Of course, we're going to do historic and anything else you guys want to see. So let me know down below in the comment section. But without further ado, man, the Indiana Pacers, let's see if we can turn them around a little bit, get them a championship. So I think we all know that this team's not supposed to be good. Off to a 4-5 start, it's honestly not too bad. I mean, again, we're not going to be in the playoff mix in year one. I think we all know that. What we do have is some decent young players. So we're going to go ahead, hopefully build upon those guys. And one of those guys is Tyrese Halliburton. I'm very excited to have him here, only 22 years old. As I mentioned, came over in a deal from the Sacramento Kings at the trade deadline last year. And yeah, I have no plans of moving on from him. He's an insanely talented player, and he progresses really well. He'll be here the entire video. TJ McConnell, not a horrible backup point guard option. He's making a decent chunk of change for being a 74 overall, but we will see Andrew Nembhard here as well. The shooting guard spot, we have Chris Duarte, who I believe is out for like 4 weeks now, something like that. I know he has an injury, but we don't play with injuries on, so he'll be in the starting lineup. And then we have Aaron Nesmith, Celtics legend. He was just a guy that really never panned out. I cannot honestly believe he was a 14th overall pick. Oh, man. All right, yeah, he was in the Malcolm Brogdon train when the Pacers basically just gave the Celtics Malcolm Brogdon for literally nothing. We have Bennedict Mathurin, number 6 overall pick in last year's draft. Again, as I mentioned, off to an unbelievable start in his rookie season. I have plans of starting him the entire video. Hopefully it works out. Buddy Hield at the backup small forward spot. Again, his name's float around in trade rumors all the time. We'll see what we end up doing with him. He is 29 years old. I cannot believe he's 29 years old. Like, I get it. I believe he played all 4 years at Oklahoma, but, like, it's absolutely insane. Like, I feel like I just watched him get drafted the other day. We have Jalen Smith here at the power forward spot. We have O'Shea Brissett, Terry Taylor, and James Johnson, who I had no idea was even on an NBA roster, to be completely honest with you. I don't necessarily think any of these guys are long-term answers, but I'm going to give Jalen Smith the nod at the starting position, at least for now. And then, obviously, Miles Turner, another guy whose name does get floated around as he is on an expiring contract of a 1-year, $18 million deal. So we'll figure out what we want to do with him. I think I would probably be best off keeping him just because I know what kind of talent he is, and he's probably not going to ask for too much money. Again, if he doesn't play that well, we'll re-sign him, then trade him this offseason, but he's going to be my starting center for now. We have Isaiah Jackson, we have Goga, and we have Daniel Tice. So a lot of centers here. Definitely don't need all 4 of these fine gentlemen, but we're going to go ahead and do something. So let's hop into some trades. I have zero expectations of this being a good season, and I don't really want it to be a good season. So we're going to start it out here by trading TJ McConnell over to the Los Angeles Clippers. We get a first-round pick swap in 2025 with the Oklahoma City Thunder and a trade exception. I'm moving on from TJ McConnell. 1, doesn't really necessarily fit the timeline. And 2, I want to get Andrew Nembhard some minutes. He was their first overall pick in round 2 in this past year's draft. We're going to go ahead and have him back up Tyrese Halliburton. So that is one trade. Probably have a couple. We're, again, really not trading for many players right now. We're going out to draft picks. So let's keep going. We're going to be sending Goga over to the Cleveland Cavaliers for a first-round pick in 2026 and Dylan Windler. I'm trading Goga strictly based off the fact that we have a lot of centers and it is an expiring contract. And honestly, probably not somebody I wanted to pay whatever he was going to ask. So, first-round pick, that's another one in the books. Probably still have 1 or 2 more trades. We are now sending O'Shea Brissett over to the Atlanta Hawks for a first-round draft pick. It's actually the Kings draft pick in 2024. It is lottery protected. O'Shea Brissett, very similar to Goga, was a guy who's a free agent this offseason and a guy I'm probably not going to go ahead and pay. So, O'Shea Brissett, have fun in Atlanta. At least you can kind of win some games over there. And we have 1 more trade left, then we'll be done. Final move before we do start simming year 1, it's going to be sending Daniel Tice over to the New Orleans Pelicans for a first-round draft pick and Garrett Temple. Daniel Tice is on a multi-year deal. I could have kept him and traded them this offseason. Ultimately, I'll take the first-round pick, though. I don't really need him in the rotation. I'm going to send him somewhere that maybe he can try to win basketball games. New Orleans is having a pretty good start to their year. That is our final trade. Let's go ahead and set the rotation. We made about 4 or 5 trades that are hopefully going to set us up really well in the future. They're all for basically draft picks, and I think we're going to go ahead and hopefully tank this year, because that's obviously my goal right now. Here is how the team is looking. It's honestly not a bad starting five. The bench honestly isn't that bad either. We just really don't have that superstar player yet that will probably need to win a championship, but we'll get there. It's Tyrese Halliburton, Chris Duarte, Benedict Mathurin, Jalen Smith, and Miles Turner. Not a horrible starting five. Bench unit: Buddy Hield, Isaiah Jackson, Terry Taylor, Andrew Nembhard, and Aaron Nesmith. So hopefully these two can make a little bit of an impact in the 12 and 10 minutes they're playing a game. I'd like to maybe develop Nembhard a little bit, but again, we will see. I know Aaron Nesmith's a lost cause. Trust me, I know that. We will see. It's not going to be a good year. I'll see you guys at the end of year one here in Indiana. Luka Doncic, MVP here at the end of year one. Really nothing new. Honestly, I would say these numbers are completely unrealistic, but I think for the first time ever, he's pretty goddamn close to averaging these numbers right now. And I get it, we're 10-ish games into the NBA season, but still unbelievable that Luka is playing at the level he is right now. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year. Would have been cool if Ben Mathurin could have won it, but Paolo's definitely the best rookie right now, in my opinion. I think Ben Mathurin's probably too, but Paolo had a really good year. Drummond, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis wins Depoy. Cade Cunningham, Most Improved. JB Bickerstaff, Coach of the Year. I know we were not in the playoffs. I did not know our exact record, but I know it was not too good. We finished 30 and 52, so we're currently projected around that 5-6 pick area, which honestly isn't too bad. I'll take a pick around there. Let's look at the numbers. It was Ben Mathurin leading us in scoring, which is absolutely awesome. Again, continuing his development is definitely something I'm happy about. Tyrese Halliburton, 16.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 10.5 assists. Beautiful. Double-double. Chris Duarte wasn't too bad. Buddy Hield, Jalen Smith. Miles Turner's 12 and 8. I mean, on par for what I believe he's typically around for his career, if my math is correct. Yeah, I mean, a couple more rebounds, but it's not terrible. Jackson, Nembhard, Taylor. I mean, we just need some more scoring, honestly. I think is honestly what it kind of is. So we'll find that eventually. We're not in the playoffs, which I think is probably for the best. If we snuck into the play-in or anything, it really wouldn't have mattered. John Morant, Western Conference Finals MVP, Memphis Grizzlies, and Donovan Mitchell, who is playing like an MVP right now. His Cavs have beaten my Celtics twice. It kind of hurts, I'm not going to lie. Let's go ahead and send the rest of the finals. Cavs going to win 5. Darius Garland, Finals MVP. Okay, well, we enter offseason number 1, and it's a very important offseason to kind of set the tone for the way we want to go about this rebuild. Let's set the draft lottery. We do have a draft pick. We actually also have the Celtics pick, and then I think it's somebody else as well. I forget who it is exactly. The Knicks have 2 picks. The Detroit Pistons pick. I don't know. We end up falling to 7, which is something I'm very used to at this point, as I always fall. I do not really think Rick Carlisle is a very good head coach. I'm going to fire him. I know I didn't really give him a ton of pieces to work with, but I think having a guy like Mike Stauffer, who quite literally has perfect ratings, is definitely going to help this team a lot. We are now up to the NBA draft. We have the 7th overall pick. What do I want to do with that pick? I still don't really know. We also have 24 from the Celtics, 30 from the Cavs. It was the Cavs pick. I knew we had another one. I'm going to move up. I don't really know to what spot, but we will find a trade. So the Oklahoma City Thunder do have the 3rd overall pick. And now the reason I'm trading for this pick is for one reason, and one reason only. Because I have the option of either getting Nick Smith, or I have the option of going ahead and getting Scoot Henderson. And I think either of those guys would make an immediate impact on this team. If I get Scoot Henderson, obviously I'm going to move Tyrese Halliburton to the 2. And if I get Nick Smith, Tyrese Halliburton will remain at our starting point guard spot. And it's not like Chris Duarte really played bad for us. I just think we need an upgrade. So I'm going to offer the 2 other late first-round picks I have to the Oklahoma City Thunder. I really did not think they were going to take that. Who else do I have under contract here that I may be willing to trade? Honestly, I kind of want to keep Nembhard, so maybe I'll throw in some other draft picks. I'm actually kind of happy in this situation that we traded for some other draft picks. How about a couple seconds? Will that do it? 1. Okay, it takes that. So we now have the 3rd overall selection. So let's go ahead and we'll sit here through the draft. Victor Wembanyama goes 1. It's either going to be Scoot or Nick that does go right here. And they take, never mind. They take Dariq Whitehead. Okay, well, I think Scoot Henderson is the next prospect on the board. I think he's the next best prospect on the board. As you can see, it says Nick Smith's rated higher than Scoot Henderson, but I think Scoot Henderson's my guy. So welcome to Indiana, Scoot Henderson. Going to be my new starting point guard, which means Tyrese Halliburton will be moved to the shooting guard spot. I mean, he can shoot the 3 ball. I'm not really nervous about it. Henderson's an 80. We're going to go ahead and bring all these guys back. And, qualifying offers. Dylan Windler, no thank you. I was really trading for, he was in the trade, but whatever trade it was, before we started simming year 1. But it was really for the draft pick. So we have a big free agent here in Miles Turner. I'm definitely not just going to let him go. He wants around $21.5 million, which honestly isn't terrible. Kind of our one big free agent, if you will, and he does resign. So what I'm going to do with him is definitely give him one more year. If I feel like I can maybe trade for an upgrade at some point in time, I probably will. But we'll figure that out as it goes. We probably do have 1 or 2 more trades before we do get into the next year. We're going to try to trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. here from the Memphis Grizzlies. He'd be a huge upgrade defensively in our front court. He'd be a great player next to Miles Turner. And overall wise, I think 2K undervalues how good he is a little bit. I get he's hurt right now, but he's not going to be hurt here. We don't play with injuries on. So I know I'm offering Buddy Hield. He has to be in here to make the money work. And then Jalen Smith will obviously be the replacement. there for Jaren Jackson Jr., and I know I'm going to have to go up some draft picks as well. So I'll give you my first next year. I'll do it top 5 protected. I mean, that's a little bit of a risk, but I'm going to do it. I think we'll be a little bit outside that, and again, if it's really that big of a deal, I mean, if it ends up at like number 6, I'll be pissed, but I'm still very comfortable with that trade. So now what we have to do is just go ahead and find a new backup small forward, and we'll basically be all set. I also don't... Who even is this? Was it Kendall Brown? Somebody like that? Yeah, I don't really need... Okay, nothing? All right. I don't really need him on the team. I was going to see if I can get a draft pick. We actually have a little bit of money. Let me sign Dylan Brooks. Oh, shit. We actually have a lot of money. I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize how much money we have. But, you know what? Let me sign Dylan Brooks. He'll probably be our new 6th man off the bench, and I guess that maybe... Okay. Maybe not Dylan Brooks. Should have given him a little bit more. Karis LeVert, he's a guy that either pops off or averages 1 point a game. No, I'm kidding. Welcome to the team, Karis LeVert. I guess welcome back to Indiana, I guess. And he's going to be our new backup small forward behind Benedict Mathurin. All right, we made some upgrades. I'm very happy with this team. I'll see you guys at the rotation at the start of year 2. We had a pretty significant offseason here in Indiana. We made a lot of moves, I think, that are going to helpfully set us up now for some success, and then hopefully a championship by the time this video does wrap up. I'm not saying we're winning a championship this year, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised to kind of see this team in the playoff mix. We have a good starting 5, and we have some good depth. Let's see what happens. Here's how it's going to look. It's Scoot Henderson, Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Miles Turner. He re-signed to this team, and hopefully he can be our center for the remainder of the video. The bench unit's honestly pretty good. We have Karis LeVert, Chris Duarte, Isaiah Jackson, Terry Taylor, and Andrew Nembhard. I wouldn't be surprised if this team was in the play-in, maybe even up to a 6-5 seed, something like that. We will see. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2 here in Indiana. So I thought this team could sneak in the playoffs, and yeah, we were right. We went 51-31, assuming that was probably good enough for a top 3-4 spot here in the East. We will see. Indiana Pacers maybe getting something going. Nikola Jokic wins MVP. He's wearing number 54. I'm assuming they retired Melo's number. I love Carmelo. He's one of my favorite players to watch, just like from a basketball fan perspective. I hated when my Celtics played him, but there's no goddamn way that you can say that he was more important to the Denver Nuggets franchise than a 2-time MVP Nikola Jokic. So maybe don't retire his number for Jokic just yet. Scoot Henderson does win Rookie of the Year for us. He averages 19 points, 6 boards, 6.5 assists. Obviously very happy to have him here in Indiana. Andre Drummond wins 6th Man of the Year again, this time doing it in New York. Joel Embiid wins Depoy. Precious Achiuwa Most Improved. Nate McMillan wins Coach of the Year. And yeah, let's see what spot we're a 3 seed at 51 wins. Unbelievably great. Cavs won the finals last year, and they're a 4 seed behind us. That's interesting. Detroit Pistons coming up as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers, see how we did. It was Scoot Henderson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Ben Mathurin, really solid year, Tyrese Halliburton, Karis LeVert. I mean, overall-wise, I think this team kind of meshes pretty well together. I mean, again, we don't really have that necessarily that 20-point-per-game option yet. I think we'll kind of get there with Scoot and maybe Ben Mathurin, but we're playing pretty well right now. And we got the Toronto Raptors here. Fred VanVleet, Scary Terry finds his way over to Toronto. Bruce Brown, Scotty Barnes, Siakam, Precious Achiuwa. I'm not going to lie, I actually tried to trade for Scotty Barnes. You know, I've done it before. Unfortunately, this time the Toronto Raptors were not having it. Maybe they didn't want to trade him within the conference, but nonetheless, we win in 5. Moving on to the 2-seed Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, Bojan Bogdanovic, Jalen Duren, Jeremy Grant. I mean, yeah, the depth on this team is unbelievably insane. So let's see what happens here. They're a 2-seed, we're a 1-seed. We go up 2-1. We go up 3-1. And we are in the Eastern Conference Finals here. And we are taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are a team that I never want to face. This is pretty much one of the 2 or 3 teams here in the Eastern Conference that are nearly impossible to get by when you do Eastern Conference teams rebuilds. But let's see what happens. We won game 1. We win game 3 as well. We're 2-2, so we got a best-of-3 series right now here in the Eastern Conference Finals. We lose game 5. We win game 6. And can we go to the NBA Finals, take on the New Orleans Pelicans? We lose. Oh. Honestly, we had no business being here, though. So I will take it. The Pelicans do go on to win the finals. Honestly, I think they, not that they, nerfed Zion, but, they might have nerfed the Pelicans as a whole. They do not win nearly as many finals as they used to. But the Cavs, on the other hand, they win a lot of finals. All right, so that was a really successful season. I will take Eastern Conference Finals Game 7 on a team that we didn't even know was going to be directly in the playoffs. I mean, we maybe thought playing, but hell, I will take it. We have the Sacramento Kings pick. It is lottery protected, so we're not going to actually have it. And it ends up at number 13. So that's fine by me. We're going to go ahead and skip up to staff signing right now where we have Mike Stouffer locked up. He's not going anywhere. We'll now hit the draft, see if we maybe have any other draft picks. I know we don't have our own first-round pick. No, we do not have any draft picks. So we do have some draft picks to trade, though. And I think there are definitely some upgrades we can go ahead and make, probably in terms of the bench unit right now. We're going to obviously have to re-sign Tyrese Halliburton. He's not going anywhere anyway, so I'm just going to give him his qualifying offer. Max him out, give him the whole 9 yards, and then, qualifying offer. We do have a little bit of money here to play with, though. Any guys that'd be interested in, like maybe Anthony Davis here? You know what? I want Anthony Davis. I think he'd be a huge upgrade at that center spot, and I'd be willing to trade Karis LeVert. I mean, again, he's a good piece off the bench, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and I'm going to do this, so that means I can maybe get Anthony Davis. Again, we know that's not 100% going to happen, but it's definitely something I'm going to risk right now because I want to win a championship with this team. Rockets are giving him a real contract. I'm going to go ahead and max him out here. That is a whole lot of money for AD, but I'd be willing to do it if he wants to come here. And he does. All right, I cannot sign Tyrese Halliburton yet, and I cannot renounce the rights on him either. Let me see. I need to clear up, what is that? Probably $4-ish million. So let me do that real quick. Honestly, I can just go ahead and trade Miles Turner now. I was going to obviously get rid of him anyways just because we don't really need him because we have Anthony Davis. So Miles Turner, it was awesome having you here. I just don't really need you anymore. Let's go ahead and hopefully find someone to come off the bench. Maybe go ahead and replace Karis LeVert. Jeez, I forgot his name for a second. So obviously the money kind of has to work here. Would it work with Kuzma? That's like 19. I think it's still a little short. All right, let me find a trade. Franz Wagner would definitely fit in the category of players that would be unbelievable six men that are also making enough money for us to go ahead and still sign Anthony Davis. So, yeah, you're smoking crack. You're not getting Benedict Mathurin from me. I have a lot of draft picks, so I'm going to go ahead. I can definitely get this done. I don't really want to give up 5 draft picks, but I will if I have to. It's the final year anyways. And, yeah, this team is obviously hopefully going to go ahead and make that next step and hopefully get a championship. I'll give you 5 draft picks. I really don't care. They're going to do that? All right, cool. Franz Wagner, welcome to the team. Which now means we do not have to go ahead and renounce Tyrese Halliburton. We can just go ahead and not agree and not renounce. And I will wait until after moratorium. And Anthony Davis officially an Indiana Pacer. So now we have to go ahead and make sure that Tyrese Halliburton does not get any real contracts here, which is obviously a huge step for me. We also don't have to renounce Tyrese Taylor, because I don't really want to do that either. So AD's here one more day, and then no offers here, no offers there. We are good. Anthony Davis, officially an Indiana Pacer. Now I'm going to go ahead and pay Tyrese Halliburton. Hopefully he comes here. He does, and I'll also pay Terry Taylor, because why the hell not? Why the hell not? We are going for it, and this is the final year. Okay, let's look at the team. Are there any major moves we have to make? Honestly, I don't think so. I'm very content with this team. I will see you guys at the start of the third and final season. We made some really big changes to this team. Some changes I didn't necessarily think were coming, but we had the cap space and we got Anthony Davis, and now he is our starting center. And this is a really fun team. This is a team that was in the Eastern Conference Finals. We went 7 games, and we only got better. And I'm hoping for a championship here at the end of year 3. It's Scoot Henderson, Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Jaren Jackson Jr., Anthony Davis. Funny enough, the game actually wants Franz Wagner to go ahead and start over Mathurin. They want Mathurin to play more minutes, but they want Wagner in the starting lineup. I'm not going to do that. Ben Mathurin's a better player, in my opinion. We have Chris Duarte, Isaiah Jackson, Andrew Nemhard, and Terry Taylor. This is a really good team. I have championship hopes. I will see you guys at the end of year 3. Darius Garland is your MVP here at the end of year 3. I'm not going to lie, I didn't see our exact record, but I'm assuming we were very good. Ron Holland wins Rookie of the Year. He went to Miami number 1 overall. I do not know how the Heat were so bad to have the number 1 overall pick, but they were, and they got a young stud in Ron Holland. Jalen Duren, 6th Man of the Year. Holy shit. He might be a most improved candidate as well. Dyson Daniels takes that award, and, well, oh my God. Okay, we were good. I don't know about 71 wins good, but hell, I'll take it when 2K blesses me. I don't question it, but I don't really care as long as we're winning championship. The numbers to me, it really doesn't matter who does what. Let's go ahead and get into the playoffs right now. We have a matchup with the New York Knicks here in round 1. I had De'Aaron Fox. Okay. How you got him, I have no idea, but that's a really good addition, but we're a whole lot better. Thanks for coming. Detroit Pistons here in round 2. Cade, Ivy, Hunter, Grant, Stewart, excuse me. Still a lot of depth. Again, I'd say there's no fucking way. Oh, 2K. Why do you do this to me every single time? I knew it was coming. I really did. It's the blown 3-0 lead thing. It literally happens all the time. The Raptors don't really scare me. Okay, we won, but they blew a 3-1 lead. Okay, I need to stop simming series. Tyrese Proctor, Herbert Jones, Brandon Ingram, Zion, Clint Capella. Okay, where's all that money coming from? I would like to go ahead and beat the New Orleans Pelicans right now. We're up 2-1 against them. We're up 3-1. And we close them out and win a championship. Anthony Davis, Finals MVP. Thank the heavens. I needed that one. We do go on and win a Finals. To be honest with you, I didn't really think we were going to make this many significant moves. I said to kind of open the video, I didn't think we had to. But when Anthony Davis came along and You know, trading for Triple J, I think the moves were kind of smart. But overall wise, I'm super happy with this team. Hopefully you guys are as well. Again, I mentioned those two other rebuilds we have left, the Washington Wizards and the Minnesota Timberwolves here, just in terms of normal rebuilds. Of course, I really am excited to get into the trading every player rebuilds. I know that is a series you guys all love, and one I am super excited for. I'll give you guys more details soon. More details in the next video, probably more details on Twitter as well. So make sure you go follow me on there. But other than that, that pretty much wraps this one up. Of course, let me know any other video ideas you guys got down below in the comment section. Of course, you guys are new around here as well. Feel free to subscribe, join the community. Other than that, that wraps this one up. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.